So, you watched the latest episode of Attack on Titan and you're a little bit confused with the Thunder Spears. What are they? And where did they come from? Because it seems like they just appeared out of nowhere. Well, let's talk about it. Like a lot of things in Season 3 Part 1, the foreshadowing for the Thunder Spears was heavily cut in the anime adaptation. Now, I would say the seeds for all of this started all the way back in the scene where Hanji and Levi are torturing Sanes. During this scene, Sanes talks about some of the people that he and the rest of the first Interior Squad killed in order to maintain the peace. And this is where the anime cut one of those guys mentioned in the manga. Maybe the reason for this is because the people that were shown in the anime adaptation are all related to other characters, you know, like the most obvious being Astaria's mom, and then you have Erwin's dad, that's the teacher. But the couple that was trying to fly or whatever, those guys are actually Armin's parents. This is something that's actually hinted in Season 1, but this is not the topic for this video. This is actually a way more complicated than you would have thought. Anyway, just like the panel says, this guy that was cut, this man, he was killed by the first Interior Squad for manufacturing weapons that would threaten the king. I don't really know what that means, but okay, like he was making weapons, sure. So later in the story, after the fall of the government, we have a scene where the narrator talks about the many things that happened during that time, the things that they gained, and in the anime, they talk about, you know, the crystals in the cave that they can use now, and many other things. So in the manga, there's a whole lot more there, okay? Like, the anime, like, clearly just skipped over a bunch of stuff, okay? And more importantly for this video, one of the things that they cut was like a panel, you know, a scene where it reveals that some of the people inside of the military police who had been ordered to wipe out signs of technological innovation had actually preserved in secret research records. Now, as you can see in the panel, it kind of looks like that guy's workshop, right? It kind of looks like that. And according to the Character Encyclopedia, among these research records that they found, like, there were those guys' inventions of bullet cartridges and revolvers. And this opens the door to new and better weapons. And in the next scene after this, like, we have the executioner from hell, you know, and we have Eren talk with Hanji about how, hey man, let's make more weapons and let's just get ready to go to Shingishina. So the idea of making weapons is there already in motion. And after that scene, we have another scene cut from the anime, okay? Where we have Erwin, Levi, Hanji participating in a meeting with Zackley, Pixies, and other military higher-ups. You know, and they're there to inform them of, you know, their progress. Erwin talks about how the Survey Corps' night expeditions to clear a path to Shingishina, you know, is going well. More relevant to this video, Zackley points out how the day for the practical introduction of the new weapons is now in sight. After this scene is where presumably the scene from the latest episode happens, you know, chronologically, with Hanji explaining to the scouts how the Thunder Spear works, and, you know, because later in both the manga and the anime, the scene after the meeting is, you know, Marlowe talking, you know, with the main cast about how he's really excited to be you know, a scout now, and they have these crazy weapons that they can cut titans like paper. Notes, however, how in the manga he explicitly says spears, but in the anime he says weapons. Why would they change this line? I have no idea. At this point, you might be wondering, oh man, like, this anime just cut almost all the scenes foreshadowing a Thunder Spear. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But here's the weird one. For whatever reason, just like they changed Marlowe's line in a scene, they do the opposite and change the dialogue where a guy accuses someone of not being great at using a sword, which honestly, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. But now in the anime, this guy is accusing, this other guy of actually not being great at using the spear. What? Like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you change Marlowe's line, but then keep doing what? I don't know. I don't know. And lastly, right in the final episode of season 3, part 1, you have these guys in the background carrying the Thunder Spear. This is something we have never seen before. So, as a manga reader, when I saw this, I was like, hey, I know what that is. But, my friends, just didn't notice that, didn't question that, and, I get it, I probably missed that, when I was reading. Probably. I don't know. I don't remember. But, yeah, man, I knew what that is, and I made sure to not point that out for them, alright? I stayed quiet. I wanted the Thunder Spear to be a surprise. And then the opening comes out for the new part, and they're just using the Thunder Spear. But yeah, it's because of the Thunder Spears that they are now wearing that these weird elbow pads or whatever. And since the beginning of part 2, in the first episode immediately. And number one, they are different in the manga. So I wanted to ask you which ones do you prefer? I feel I don't know. I think I like the manga ones. They're weird. They kind of look sketchy. The anime, I don't know. They kind of look useless. You know what I mean? So I don't know about that. But anyway, but yeah, the elbow pads or whatever, they were there in the first episode of this part. But if you watch, the crazy glitched ending of part 1, you would see, the characters wearing them. By the way, don't watch that ending again, all right? Don't watch that again. Just enjoy the ride now, all right? You don't need to get spoiled. I'm not gonna show footage of that. So yeah, the Thunder Spear didn't actually come out of nowhere. It's just that the anime just butchered almost all the hints and and instead just showed you the new opening with the characters using it. What's the moral of the story? Well, number 1, pay attention. Number 2, read the manga. Okay? But especially the Uprising arc. There's a lot of scenes that were cut, man. You are missing content here. So, as you saw in the latest episode, created with the sole purpose of killing the attack titan, the Thunder Spear works in 2 steps. First, you press the trigger in the handle of the device, and you will launch a projectile with enough power to penetrate hardened titan skin. Second, you cut the rope that connects the projectile to the main engine. By doing this, the second charge is activated, and this causes a huge explosion, which makes it easier for the next Thunder Spears to come in and penetrate even more into this Titan skin and explode and do big damage. So Isayama based the Thunder Spear on rocket firework that he used to play with when he was a kid, which that sounds a little dangerous to me. And speaking of dangerous though, when you have Hanji talking about how the Thunder Spear has to be used in a situation where the target is surrounded by enough tall objects that that you can use to to quickly retreat from the explosion. Don't take those drawings too literally. It's dangerous. Yes, it's really dangerous. That explosion will damage you. It will hurt. But in order for something like those drawings to happen, with the limbs flying off or whatever, in order for something like that to happen, you need to be really close to the explosion. Okay, close enough that the Thunder Spear has to be shoved up your ass or something. Don't question me, by the way. I know what I'm talking about. Is this weapon too crazy? Is it really too unbelievable that they just created such an insane thing in just a month and with the old technology that they have? Maybe, but we can't have another arc where the main characters that are not titans or shifters or whatever just sit around and watch and do nothing. We can't do that anymore. Anyway, that's it. That's the video. I'm done. Okay, this was just something quick and dirty for me to do. I'm actually working on a much longer video. You know, I'm analyzing the opening and the ending of this season. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's just a lot of like references to like scenes that like don't really matter. Characters, forgotten characters. There's like references. There's like foreshadowing for anime onlys. There's like stuff for manga readers to grab onto. Like there's a lot of stuff in these bad boys. I think it's really interesting, and if you're interested, stay tuned for that. You know, like it's gonna be a cool ass video. I actually haven't recorded it yet. You know, I'm done with the notes as far as I know. I'm actually gonna record, you know, a couple of hours later. But yeah, man, until that video comes out, you can like this video, you can subscribe, you can comment, you know, and share it with other people. That would help me out a lot, you know. And yeah, man, I'll see you later. Well, it's not true. No, I'm not seeing you. You're seeing me. I can't see you, but and you can keep on seeing me by watching other videos that I did. How does that sound? I don't know, man. Okay, I'm done. Bye.